What's going on, family? You are in the lab today with Abel, man. We got a great show today. Today, we're going to be talking about just get started. You know what I mean? You're overthinking it. Just do it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people, and some people saying, well, I don't have the equipment. I don't have the laptops. I don't have the cameras. I don't have the microphones. Man, just get started. Just somebody asked me what made me want to do this show is somebody asked me about getting started in podcasting and filming and stuff like that. Because it was like, well, we see you got the equipment and we see you got the mics, but I told them to just get started. This stuff you see now came over time. I started this, I was doing this back in 2009. You know what I mean? So over time, yes, I upgraded, but the business paid for itself. But when I first started, I started with somebody else's equipment. I started in the church. And then I realized I loved it. You know what I mean? And then I invested in myself. So I tell people, start with your camera phones and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Let me hit you with something real though. I'm gonna hit you with something real. You know what I mean? Some people with less is winning right now. Some people with less than what you have is winning right now. Not because they were smarter, not because they are more talented. It's because they started. And you still thinking about it. Get started. You know what I mean? I tell people you don't need all that stuff. Stop making excuses. Some people just make excuses because they be afraid. You know what I mean? So you have to decide whether or not this is for you. And when the guy asked me about starting his little podcast or his show or whatever, I told him before he started investing in equipment, just open his cell phone up and start talking and see if you can make something happen just on your own, just by start talking. And then if you like it, because you might not even like this, you think you like it, but you might not like this stuff. You know what I mean? And who can sit here and just talk to a camera? You know what I mean? Because I got an audience. I'm talking to an audience because I see people on the other side of with my analytics. But a lot of people, can't do that. They see the light come on and they freeze. So I tell people, man, stop making excuses. You know what I mean? And these shows right here, I'm probably going to do a show every Monday to help people, to motivate people to get to the next level. You know what I mean? It takes time. And it ain't gonna happen overnight. People are like, oh man, I'm just ready to make it happen right now. It takes time. So it's gonna be a brick by brick by brick situation. And you're gonna get frustrated. You're gonna want to quit. You're gonna be like, well, nobody's supporting me. You know what I mean? And I tell you, don't worry if somebody's supporting you right now. When a person baking the cake, nobody's in the kitchen, you really but them. When it's time for you to put all the ingredients in that cake and whipping that thing up and you're milking the eggs and the sugar and the flour and just all this stuff, it's usually just the baker. People usually don't come to after that cake is in the oven and you start smelling that aroma and like, oh, okay, they might have something here. They might have, it's starting to smell good. You know what I mean? Like you start to smell good. And then when the cake is done and they taste it, that's when people gonna come and support you. You know, don't worry about nobody's here. Nobody's here from the beginning. It ain't a dream. It ain't a vision. It's your vision. It's your dream. You know what I mean? My kids, my wife, you know what I mean? Everybody got on board after I got started. You know what I mean? They believed in me and they listened to me. But it wasn't until I started putting major effort and we started seeing this thing grow. That's when people, friends, and everybody start coming on board. Other than that, it was me. It was me late nights. So I tell people, just get started. You don't need all that stuff. You think you do, but you really don't. You know what I mean? And these shows will be for members only. I'm giving you this free one because I want people to see what we're going to be talking about in the Get Up and Level Up series. And then this is going to be a members only for a reason. We ain't sugarcoating over here. I'm going to be doing coaching. I'm going to be doing, if you want one-on-one, you want to talk to me, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to talk to me one-on-one if you like. And instead of coaching calls, I want to be accountability. I'm gonna have accountability calls, because if you telling me you want to do something, I want to hold you accountable. Hey, last Monday we discussed this. Where are you at now? You know what I mean? You need people to hold you accountable sometime. So no more excuses, man. No more excuses. Let's do that. No more excuses. You don't need more. You just need to move. You just need to move. Get up and move. And that's with anything. Just get out there and do it. That's what anything. If you want to lose weight, you got to get moving. You want to start a business, you got to get moving. You know what I mean? You want if you want to be a baker, you want to be anything, you got to get started. You got to go do it. Stop worrying about what other people say. Stop worrying about what other people think. You know how many people told me, man, that ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Why are you doing that? Just go get you a job. Just go do this. Go do that. I had bigger vision. I had a vision. I had a plan. I wasn't gonna let somebody put their fears on me. I refuse to let you put your fears on me. Just because it didn't work for you doesn't mean it ain't gonna work for me. And people have to realize that when it's your dream, when it's your baby, you gotta rock it. You gotta nourish it. You gotta put the effort in. You gotta, if it's your yard, you gotta go water it if you want it to be green. You gotta fertilize it. You have to do it. So stop letting people tell you, put their fears on you. I could care less what somebody say. Oh man, I can't stand your shows. I can't stand your short films. I can't stand your podcast. I could care less. And the reason I could care less, and the reason I'm telling you you should care less, is because there's 8 billion people in the world. It's an audience out here for everybody. Somebody gonna like your stuff. You mean to tell me out of 8 billion people, nobody like your stuff? Now you might not want to do it if that's the case, and nobody like your stuff. But you keep doing whatever it is and whatever your dream is. I'm speaking from a social media standpoint. I'm speaking from a content creator standpoint. I'm speaking from a filmmaker's standpoint here, And so that's the reason I tell people, you already have enough. You know what I mean? You just need to move. And let's break it down. And the reason I see you already have enough, everybody got a cell phone. Everybody got a cell phone. Stop creating content with your cell phone. Create that content. You know what I mean? You got it. All you need is a cell phone. You need the internet or a data plan. You know what I mean? And you can get started. Because if I gave you a full studio today, what would you actually do with that? You wouldn't know what to do with it. Most people wouldn't know what to do with it. And I tell people, you don't need, I'm going to show y'all one of my cameras, this is one of my field rigs here. This is a Canon EOS R5C. It ran me probably about $4,000 or $5,000, just the camera. And then you got the lens. We had to buy the lens. That's a 24 by 105 lens. That was another $1,000 or so. And this one, then you got my DJI Pro 4. This ran me right at $1,000 here. So I tell people, and I love it because when I power it up, it comes on and it's ready to rock and roll, and it turns and do all kind of stuff. And it ain't. I don't kind of trigger to hit the wrong button over here. But you don't need this right here to get started. You know what I mean? This right here is for my Netflix series, Netflix stuff, because it's a cinema camera. So I'll tell people, all you need is this. It's all you need to get started. Get your camera, get you a good microphone, and you don't need the expensive mics. I bought this right here off of Amazon. This is for my iPad setup. I got a cell phone. I got a GoPro setup. I got all these things here. But you don't need all that. All you need is your cell phone and start talking. That's it. And so people think that you have to have the perfect setup, the perfection. You don't. You really don't. You overthinking it. People, I gotta have the lighting. Go outside. I gotta have the editing. You can edit off of CapCut, free stuff. I use Final Cut. Some people on my team use Adobe. Depends on and they don't really talk to each other. So we use separate stuff and then we edit and upload it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I use Final Cut. I'm familiar with Final Cut, been using it forever. I need to switch over to Adobe, but I don't. You got to have good planning. You got to be hungry. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to don't worry. You do need at least one person in your ear to support you, because it's going to be times where I quit. I quit several times. I did. I quit. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this film stuff. I'm done with this podcast stuff. I'm done because you just get tired. You'll upload. You'll work all evening, work all day. Upload a video, upload content. You might get 10 views. 10 views. And you be like, man, what do I do wrong? You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. When you're in that building stage, that building foundation, it ain't gonna happen overnight. Now you might have one, you might get lucky and go viral. I done went viral several times. And was happy about it, and then I just did videos and then get but 10 views. Hell, on some of my videos now I might get 10 views. I don't care though, because it's not about the views. It's about being consistent. You gotta be consistent. If you say, hey, I'm gonna put this out every Monday. Put it out every Monday at 10. Be consistent, and people gonna start to look for you, especially if it's a good product. People gonna start looking like, hey, every Monday, I know Abel gonna put something out. Boom. And then it's gonna slowly trickle. Then you're gonna be like, I got 3 views. All right, I got 8 views. All right, I got 108 views. Now I'm doing 1,000 views. That's how that happens. Brick by brick, being consistent. So I tell people, don't worry about what people think. I can care less about that. Most people, let's see, the segment 3 I want to talk about, you're not scared of starting. You're scared of being seen. You fearful. You fear, and that's why I keep telling people, stop allowing people to put their fears on you. I don't care if it's a family member. Oh, I'd have had family members. I'd have had close family members. Man, that ain't gonna work. It didn't work for Uncle Joe. It didn't work for Chris. It didn't work for little blockhead over here. So what make you think it's gonna work for you? Because I'm not none of them. I'm in the trenches. I'm hungry. I want to eat. I want to take my family to the next level. Who knows why it didn't work for them? And I'm always a big believer of why something don't work for you. Either it wasn't for you to do, or you didn't stay loyal to the process long enough. You quit. And people be afraid of, see, on social media, man, social media will humble you. People be afraid of when people give you bad comments or they be judgmental. I could care less about all that. I could care if you don't like my stuff. You know what I mean? People be disrespectful. I just block you and keep moving because I love it. And that's all that should matter. If you love it, that's all that matters. Don't worry about what trolls say. They trolls. You know how many people say negative stuff about my stuff or content creator stuff that I read? Don't worry about that. Half of those people are hiding behind an avatar. They're hiding behind an avatar, and you can't see their face, or you do go to their page. They have no content there, and they are downtrodden or trying to tear you down. You got some people out here just trolls. That's what they do. They want to get you to stop because they don't want to do it or they can't do what you're doing. So don't worry about it. You know what I mean? But the few, it might be 100 negative comments, but you might have 1 or 2 positive. You keep going with that 1 or 2. Just get started. Stop worrying about that shit. You know what I mean? And then you be like, oh man, nobody's watching you. Okay. I got content out there nobody never seen. It's on YouTube. Not one view. I won't take it down because what happens is when you go viral or when you get big enough or your face or your name get out there, people go back and watch your old stuff. I stopped worrying about views. It's never about views. You would never make money, the money that you want to make off views. Views, I think like YouTube is, depends on what your CPM and RPMs is per thousand. Facebook, the same thing, like per thousand. You know what I mean? You can get monetized, and then on YouTube, I think you got to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. For some people, it can happen overnight. And for others, it never happened. I think only 10% of the people on YouTube get monetized. 10% of the people. I think that's what the statistic was to get monetized. And I think out of those 10%, that 10% only ones get a financial check. We have been lucky to be in that 10% that have received funds, but a lot of people never get there. And you ask yourself why. Is it consistency? Is it they don't put the work in, or it just ain't for them? You just never know. But don't quit. You don't quit. And then don't worry about the views. If you get to the point where you can monetize, start your store, start doing lives, go after sponsorships. It's easy. Just go. If you don't have a sponsorship email, just go to ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT or Claude or one of the AI softwares to create you a breakdown of how to get sponsorships emails, and then you start sending them out to sponsors. See if they want to. You take that template what Claude or ChatGPT give you. We do that. I do that. I don't care. I give y'all the secrets. I don't have no secrets. This thing is ain't no use to reinventing the wheel. The wheel has already been created. And then you put your name and number and all that stuff in the email and send it over. And see if somebody want to sponsor you. Sponsor you on a show, or sponsor put their stuff behind you, or you got some barbecue sauce, or you out there on the grill and you talking about it and they want to sponsor a show with the barbecue sauce. Just go do it. It's as simple as that. Don't be afraid of failure. The worst thing, I think what used to get me was I hated to hear the word no. And sometimes in some incidents, still hate to hear the word no. But at the same time, if you don't ask, you'll never hear the word yes either. Because more likely, you're going to hear way more no's than yes. You know what I mean? And like I tell you, just do it. Like Nike slogan, just do it. Whatever you do, be consistent. Put the best product out there you can. Don't tell nobody. I don't tell people I have a YouTube channel. I don't tell people we have Facebook. I don't tell people we're on TikTok. I don't. Most of people who ping me or email us or DM us, they on the For You page, they find you. And then they'll come back and be like, man, I ain't know y'all was doing that. I didn't know y'all had. I think combined on YouTube, we got right at 100,000 subs. I think combined on Facebook, we got 36,000 on the DBM channel. And so they was like, man, we didn't know your channel had that many subs or subscribers, because I don't put it out there. Because it ain't for everybody. If you start putting it out there, people can flood your stuff with negativity, put trolls and bots on you. I've seen channels get destroyed because people will go buy bots and send to certain people channels. And next thing you know, their numbers done plummeted. I see that all the time. The game is crazy out here. So I don't tell people where we at or what we're doing, but I do try to be consistent with everything I do. I try to be, my schedule is Monday at 10:45. Well, I start at Sunday. Let me start at Sunday. Sunday at 9:30, we do our sports show. Then Monday morning, then Monday evening, then Tuesday. And Tuesday, I think Tuesday afternoon, Then Wednesday, that's my coaching calls or my response to email or business or something like that. Then I get back on it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday I rest. You know what I mean? Saturday's my rest day. People are like, well, Saturday's a day you can do film, not for us. I believe in resting on my Saturday. You know what I mean? And then because I'm back at it on Sunday. Family's family. Saturday's family day. You have to have family day. I'm a big believer of that. You know what I mean? And I tell people are like, well, if I'm gonna do this and try to start this business, shouldn't I be chasing the money? I tell people never chase the money. You will never, if you gotta chase it, you'll never catch it. You'll never catch it. I tell people go after the greatness in your craft, whether that's building stuff, whether that's content creation, whether that's baking, whether that's house, whatever your business mantra is. Go after the greatness in that. And then when you become great, people will exchange their finances for your greatness of service. So don't go out there, I just got to chase this money, because your product could be trash. Or you could have holes all in your product. And now you chasing something, now you got bad customer service, now you getting all these bad reviews because you ain't prepared. Go after the greatness, put that time in. Yes, it's gonna suck because you're gonna be doing a lot of videos and a lot of filming, and you ain't gonna be making no bread. And that's why I tell people the best time to start a business is while you're already working. I seen one person say, I'm gonna quit my job and start content creation. When we was on the coaching call, they was like, I'm gonna quit my job and start content creation because I think I can make it. I told them, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't quit your job, start content creation. This business right here will humble you. you might do I tell you what, you might do 100,000 views this month, and then you might do negative 100,000 next month. I'm just being honest with you. I'm gonna just be honest with you. One thing you gonna get. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing on this channel. On this Get Up and Level Up, you gonna get the behind the scenes of April in Dry Bones. We have done 11 million views in a month. And the very next month, we only did 6. I'm like, how in the Hades I lost 5 million views that month? I put out the same content. I'm consistent. It doesn't matter. This is social media. You're going to have ups. You're going to have downs. What I tell people to do, though, is get your numbers every month. At the end of every month, if you're going to do the social media stuff, at the end of every month, log your numbers. And then every quarter, log your numbers. And like, I think this quarter alone, I think we are right at 25 million views the first quarter over all our platforms. But now, starting the second quarter, we already down. I'm already down 5 million views. So I'm like, oh, man, what's going on? I got my producer, I got my accountant, my content person over here. Ask, hey, we down. What's going on? It's a pattern in social media. People used to watch more content in the winters, in the winter months, and beginning of spring, and right at spring, your content drops off. And then maybe after the summer, it picks back up because more people outside. People outside, they party, they barbecue, and they ain't sitting here watching videos or watching content. So I always tell people, don't worry about these numbers. These numbers right here gonna fluctuate. Just be consistent. And even when they do fluctuate, have memberships, have sponsors, have all type of stuff to keep your business afloat. Because if we wasn't afloat, it'd be time to make cuts. So you have to think about all of that type of stuff when you starting, when you doing stuff. Now you ain't gonna be monetized at first. If you just starting out, you won't be monetized. If you already monetized, great. But if you already monetized, just know your numbers gonna fluctuate. Your paycheck's gonna fluctuate. But then you have on your channel where you got sponsors, where you got a storefront, where you selling stuff, where you got coaching calls or accountability calls that people want to talk to you, and then put out stuff where you teaching stuff. You know, the biggest algorithm, the most successful algorithms on most successful channels that stay in the algorithm and get you a higher CPM and RPMs or education channels and finance channels. Those channels, boom. Those channels get you a great rate of return. So I always tell people that. Let's see what we got else, man. And write it down. Write your vision down. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You don't need all this, man. I'm looking around on my desk right now. I have the DJI, the gimbal, I have the GoPros. We have all kind of stuff, man. Like I just showed y'all, my Canon R5Cs. We have all kind of stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I film more stuff either on my laptop, like I'm doing right now, or my cell phone, or my Meta glasses. I have several pairs of Meta glasses. We film more stuff with those than that RC5, than that Canon. Power it off. There you go. Than that Canon, this $5,000 camera right here. So that's why I say you got everything you already need. Just go out here and do it, man. Just go get it. Don't let nobody steal what's for you. You know what I mean? Because it's your life. It's your life. And when you buy equipment, you know what I mean, you know, your life doesn't change when you buy equipment. It changes when you make a decision. And sometimes those decisions are the hardest to make by yourself. Believe me. I have decisions right now, be like, man, do I do this or do I do that? Then I go ask somebody and they were like, well, I don't know. I ain't in content, or I don't do film, or I ain't doing podcasts, so they can't give me a legitimate answer. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta make this. Then I go to my finance guy, be like, hey man, what do you think? Should we go this right here? He was like, hey man, I'm looking at these numbers. Does it benefit the business or not? I'm like, oh man. So sometimes it comes down to where you have to make that decision, and sometimes it can be an easy decision or a hard decision. You know what I mean? It could be a money decision, or you could take a loss. I have made a decision that cost me. I'm like, why did I make that decision? Why didn't I consult with someone? And I did. I tried. Or I consult with my wife, and she'd be like, I don't think we should do that. And I'm like, but I want to. You know what I mean? I want to do it. And so you live and die with whatever decision you make. But like I say, life doesn't change when you buy equipment or not. It changes when you get started, get moving. Don't be afraid to fail. We all fail. We all fail. We all took losses. Hell, we all take losses now. Just hope your losses is not more than your gains, because then you'll be out of business or whatever you want to do in life, content or baking or whatever. Just make sure that you're driven by your passion. And when you hit that wall, because you're going to hit a wall where you get confused. I ain't going to say confused. It's the wrong word. When you get burned out. We all get burned out. We all hit that wall. And even when you're trying to be consistent, don't be afraid to step away and take time for yourself. Like last week, I think it was last week, I had to step away from all this because I'm doing so much. And yes, the numbers dipped, but a lot of my old stuff, since I won't put out new stuff, a lot of my old stuff was being watched when I came back. But when I came back, I was refreshed. I felt good. And I tell everybody, I try to step away for a week, no more than week or two, every 2 months. Every 60, no more than 90 days, at least every quarter, I'm gonna be took 2 weeks break from this. You have to. or you're gonna reach a burnout to where you ain't gonna want to do this no more. Because this content stuff takes so much of your time. People think that's why when that person was saying, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna go ahead and do this content, I told them no, because you might not make a dime off of this stuff. Do not do that. You'll be foolish to quit your job and start content because you hadn't proved nothing yet. Who know you? Oh, you dance, you shake, okay. But you ain't make no money. And then we all need finances to survive, to pay these bills. But at the end of the day, you got to, I'm gonna go back, I got off a little bit, but you got to get back to where you rest in it. And like I said, I spend about, with content creation, you're gonna spend about 10 to 12 hours a day with this. That's why you got to walk away from it sometime. Because you're gonna run across videos that you want to react to, or you're going to run across, are you listening to other content creators to see what they're doing, or you listen to CEOs to see from a business standpoint how you can operate and move, digital marketing. Then you got breaking news all the time that's happening that you want to talk about. You got, then you're looking at your numbers, your CPMs or RPMs. You trying to see what's going on, what ain't happening, what's popping. You looking at the trending stuff. You would spend, if you're not careful, you would spend 10 to 12 hours, maybe 14 hours a day in content. You'll wake up. I tell you what my day is. I lay down about 2:30 every night, because as my house get quiet, I'm in here looking what's next, what's trending, what's gonna blow up in the morning, what the future's doing, what's the White House doing, what Iran doing, what's the latest video that's jumping off that's gonna pop in the morning that just been released. I'm looking at all that, and then I'm back up, lay down by 2:30. I'm back up, sleep 3-4 hours, and I'm back up, ready to go. Have to if you're gonna stay ahead or stay on top of your game in this particular business. But with that, man, like I said, go out there. How we started this is some people with less is doing just fine. You don't need all this equipment. And your life doesn't change when you buy equipment. It changes when you make a decision to get started. With that, man, I'm Abu from Dry Bones. Get up and level up. Until next time, next Monday, 10:45, join us on this live. We're going to start putting these videos in the members only folder. So become a member, man. I got some great stuff coming down the pipe. Maybe I'll even give you a shout out or two. With that said, until next time, y'all be good. You know what? I'm going through my comments. Somebody said, I don't know who they talking about. I don't know. Somebody put in the comments. I don't know if they talking to me or who's they talking to. Hope they're not talking to me. I'm gonna put that comment up there. I'm gonna put it. Somebody said, "Shut up, you weird." See, you got. If they talking to me, you always got trolls. But you should put Rich on the back of it too. Golly. Until next time, y'all be good, man. Talk to y'all soon. Next Monday, 10:45.